Welcome, everyone.
What's going on?
Second episode of Uncle Wayno's World. Tonight we've got JT come along as a special guest. Thanks for coming, JT. I'm super stoked to be able to talk to you finally about this big haul that you got. I'm absolutely in awe of it. And we've got our good friends CLFurlong and Bohdan from Falls Creek Flip. Thanks for coming, boys.
Hey guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us, mate. It's exciting.
It is. And so this week, I was just talking to you guys in the chat before. I missed most of the live chat last week because I'm hopeless. I didn't pay any attention to it. So tonight, I'm going to get straight into it. Say good day to everyone. Aussie Tip Rat. He was in first last week as well. Judder. Keen as for this.
Judder's excited he doesn't have to be on camera tonight. That's what he's excited for.
He's probably sitting back with a VB. Chris, you're on the stream. Brad and Jazz, bunch of legends on tonight, definitely. Rack Raiders. Anyone seen Batman yet? No. I haven't. I talking to Robbie this morning or last night, and he said it is very, very good. So I'm pretty keen to see it.
I'm a Batman.
It's a shame it's a standalone if it's really good.
Is it a standalone, is it?
Yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a shame if it's really good and really sets a great tone because it's supposed to be a standalone.
Yeah, well, if it's really successful, it won't be a standalone.
No.
they'll cash in on that shit for sure. Craig Hill.
Yep.
The Hub. Sup. Did everyone fetch? Yes. We'll talk about that shortly. Danielson. Let's go.
Hey.
I do need to employ someone to run the chat. What are you doing, Judder?
Mod.
It is 3 hours long, apparently. But that's how you can definitely tell if a movie is a good movie if it's 3 hours long and it's a breeze to sit through.
Yeah.
Megan, how you going? Won't be standalone. No, it won't. Not if it's this successful. Kelly Mack, how you going? The Gons. A few names here.
Full
house tonight.
Memory. TLK, Cara, how you going? Done with YouTube for a while.
Feels like that sometimes.
Hi everyone, my first live comments. Have loved the show for the last year or so. Greetings from Newcastle. Nice. Chris collects things. Welcome, Chris. Hey. Thanks for joining in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. I'm actually
Chris, we all have stuff to sell.
Yes. Yeah. Hit us up. Only here. I was going to bring this up. I was going to bring this up later too. We have an Aussie champion on the panel tonight. So why don't we just get into that now? Do you want to tell us about your snooker cohort? Cohort? That's the wrong word. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. I got a few tricks up my sleeve with the queue. Did a few back-to-back Aussie Championships wins when I was a bit younger. Was sponsored by like Rebel Sport and all that, and gave it away.
So humble. Just a couple of back-to-backs, no biggie.
Yeah, you know.
No, my dad used to own my stepdad used to own a pool hall. So I guess from the age of 8, I just was there helping him out, and then just started to get a bit like, all right, let's play some games, and it just went from there. So from about 8, I just took it on and went to places and had a bit of fun with it. But there was just I got sponsored to go to England and play on the women's circuit. Wow. But it was just at 16, it was either stay here in Australia and study, do high school, or go to a whole new country and make barely any money because it just wasn't big. It wasn't big enough for women. It was more of a men's sport. So just at 16 to go travel on your own, sounds awesome, but more so scary. So I just stayed put, and here I am.
Well, yeah, I probably, if it was me and I was 16, I would have went the different country route, but I'm an idiot, so I don't think so. But yeah, I think that's a problem for a lot of sports, women. Not being enough money. Like, I know the Olympians, I think it's the same with a lot of the men's Olympians as well. Like, they just don't, there's not enough money in it for them. It costs them a fortune to
swimmers, they just, swimmers get like, I think it's like $25,000 to $30,000 or something like that. If you're like a number one, like one of the, top swimmers in the country.
You have to be top 10 to get, I think you have to be top 10 to get like the 25 grand contract or something like that.
Oh, wow.
For the year.
It's
ridiculous.
Just sports in general, I think. Like, unless if it's like an Aussie sport code, it's so hard for any Aussie to stay in it, in the sense of that you've got to go, all right, I got to leave the family at the age of 13 or 14 and go over to Europe. I mean, even soccer players now, like they don't really go through the ranks here. They still have to go to Europe, and still it's like nothing. I mean, ice hockey is the same, racing's the same, all that sort of stuff. It's all exactly the same. Of that, it's a great story to tell, of that you get to travel overseas, and you're playing on a competition in Europe, but you're again, as JT said, you're young, you're leaving your family behind. There's very little money. There's no promise that you're going to get any further, and
like I was pretty lucky to get sponsorship deals from here in Australia, but it just wasn't enough to be like, bye mom, I'm off. And my mum financially couldn't support me, so it was just more or less whatever I got from the sponsorship deals would have tied me through, which was definitely not enough to be there for, I think it was like 4 or 5 months. It just wasn't worth it. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So just, I don't know, then I was obviously to about 16, 17, and I'm like, I'm going to hand this all in now and concentrate on making money. So.
But do you still play? Like, do you casually still play?
Nah.
Okay.
If I go to a pool hall and someone's like, "Oh, give me a game," I'm like, I've still got, I guess, the skill there. Like, that didn't really go away, but I don't go to play properly. I used to when I was just before I had my little one, just for fun, but I never took it serious like I did back then.
You could start doing some party tricks at some of the, do some bar crawls and just go around. It's like, I'll bet you $100 that I can beat you. And they think that they won't, and you just, start cleaning up a bit of extra cash in the pocket.
Bit of a quiet week on the sales, so you get a Vero and it's shut down. It's like, I'll just play the halls this week and run some money.
No, it was good value. It was good fun at the time. But bigger and better things.
It's pretty cool to have a couple of Aussie championships under your belt, though, to be able to say that. That's pretty sweet. I don't think there's anything I could ever, like, if there was a world sleeping championships, I'd be a 10-time champion. But there's nothing else I could even get close to, so it's pretty sweet.
I think when like Australia Day comes around, I think that's like the one day where I feel like, I'm pretty proud what I did back then. That's like my little Aussie, like, I did good, but that's about it.
Yeah. Sweet. I'll catch up with the chat a bit. See, I'm getting better at this. GTA Warlord. Wayno, aka David King. I'll take that. The Moose Rodney. Disgruntled Octopus. Sorry I'm late. I was trying to find you to get them on Clear. Don't be late again, or I'll try and tip over your world domination plans. Chris collects things. I sell it too. Just keep the good stuff. I'm having trouble with this at the moment. Because I've never been. Well, I have been collecting in the past, but the last few years I don't collect anything. So everything I get, just sell, even if I love it. But I've started up a couple of different Blu-ray collections, and I've already picked stuff up in bulk lots, and I'm like, I need that, but it's worth $40.
So I have been keeping.
Yes. 4 Aussie champs, thanks to Moose. The more I drink, the better I get at snooker. I think that's the same for everyone down the pub.
The more you think you're better at snooker, you don't actually get better. You just think you're better.
Jazz in the house. Sorry if there's a. I guarantee you, I am not second to anyone. I am now. But like the last few years, before last year, there was like 20 hours out of every 24. Pete is in the back lurking.
Nice.
That's where he likes to be. All right. I'm pretty keen to talk to you, JT, about that big haul that you got. I think everyone pretty much knows about it.
I think that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Well, you've just been on the news, so definitely getting your name out there. Do you want to give a quick rundown of how it came about and stuff, just for a few people that might not have seen it?
Yeah, well, the quickest spiel, we bought 20 something thousand items, mainly VHS and DVDs and CDs and books from an estate sale for $1,200. It was just insane. The video is all over on my channel, so you can see that there if you're keen. Then I guess the ABC thing came along back in November. So Brent, so everything I do it with my business partner Brent, and he's fairly well known through media channels because not only does he do eBay with me, he's a musician that tours around pubs, and he's a graphic artist that works on Topps trading cards and all that kind of stuff. So he knows a lot of people, I guess, around. And he was out at dinner one night and he just started chatting with one of the guys and he's like, yeah, we just bought all this stuff. And this guy was just amazed. And he's like, well, mate, I work for ABC. I'll get one of my journos to come over and do a spiel on you. And he's like, well, yeah, like Brent, as you can see, he doesn't appear in anything I really do because I guess he likes to stay out of that, I guess, spotlight, as they say, because he doesn't like to push it out there, what we do in some way. So that's why I've kind of I've done a bit of the YouTube stuff, but then held back a lot of stuff because we have bought many other big collections as well, like massive toy hauls, Star Wars hauls, figurines. Just luckily for us, I say a $2,000 outlay for this massive estate sale, we've been able to generate enough money to turn it into a full-time gig in the back of his warehouse. So
yeah,
it's insane.
We've got a warehouse over here in Perth, so I guess that's the short end of it all.
I have a question, and I think other people know. How was it so cheap? Like, were they did they not know, or was it really just they were desperate to get rid of it?
So what happened is the gentleman, he bought out a lot of video rental stores, plus he was a collector in himself. So he would buy, like, if it was the Halloween movie on VHS, he'd buy 5 copies of it. So so that's why when I saw this ad on Facebook, and it was the neighbor helping out the widow, because the widow was of Asian descent, didn't speak much English at all, and the lady was selling the DVDs. So there was about 10,000 DVDs. She was selling them at, I think it was like $5 for a box of 60. And I just went in and said, hey, I'll take them all off your hands. And she's like, yep, $400. And then she's like, by the way, I've got pretty much 3 bedrooms, a hallway, and a backyard full of VHSs. We're going to take them to the tip. Oh. And I'm like, wait up. We will come over when it suits you. We will come over and we will come through this house. And the lady's like, well, I don't see there's much value in VHS. It's taking up so much space, as you can see from the video.
Yeah. We just
want it gone. So Brent, I guess, came in at I would say a low price. And it was just more he saw the value in clearing out the house for the lady. He's like, we can get this cleared out for the lady, make her a house, because it was a hoarder's house. Like, the house was tidy in the main rooms, except for 3 bedrooms, a hallway, and a backyard. So this poor lady was left with her late husband's collection, and she just needed her life back, I guess, like a living. So we saw the value in, we'll take everything, and then we'll give you that value of having your house back plus X amount of money. And she's like, yep, take it all.
So you went essentially from where she was going to have to pay to take it all to the tip to suddenly going, we'll take it all, we'll do all the work, plus you get money off us. I mean, who doesn't want to hear that when that's the case? I mean, it's one of the business ideas I've had recently is kind of going, all right, if I was getting low on stock, just starting to advertise on Facebook of, I'll come and collect your donations, etc., that you can't take to the op shop or whatever. Just know that I'll keep the good stuff. The rest I'll just throw in the container and seeing what comes of it. Because if you find some free stock, sometimes selling something at $10 when it's free is better than hunting down the $40 item or whatever that you might have to pay $20 for or something. Yeah,
and a lot of people are happy to help too if you just tell them what you're going to do with the stuff. Like I've done it before.
These ladies knew exactly what we were doing. So it was just 3 women. It was 2 neighbors they were all good friends that spoke her language and her, and it was just about clearing it out. We got to a point though. I think it was like 4 truck runs or something. We got to a point and we just said we just physically can't take up much more time. We'll let you resell whatever is left. So because the the deal was to clear every room, every thing in the hallway, every single 3 bedrooms and the backyard. And then we just got to the point where after we did all the books, which was just freaking insane, we were just like, we've already spent like a lot of time here. I've got a business that I run, and Brent's got a business. He's got freaking 5 businesses. So, and I've got a 2-year-old and a partner who's a shift worker. So we were just like, we just can't take any more. Here's what we're going to leave for you. Like, we did leave stuff and we felt bad for it, but we just were like, we can't try and get some more money off someone else. And they did. We reached out to them like a week later and said, how did you go? We might be able to come back. And they're like, we sold it. So I was like, perfect. They got more money in the end.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Cara asked before, JT, what's the most expensive item you've sold from the VHS lot so far? Yeah.
Oh, I think it was like $470. I think. I'll see if I can quickly find
crazy
the sold, but it was up there.
That's pretty good.
Was that was that Fright Night or something?
It was.
Was that the coffin?
I think it was the coffin one.
Yeah.
No, we sold one above that. I think it was.
Jeepers.
Wow.
Well, it's not in my 90-day sales, so I can't find it.
I got to say, I mean, the best thing about it is the fact that you had your business partner who had the space, because, I mean, that's the biggest thing. The challenge for anyone, like, we can all find a haul like that potentially, but it's like, how do you manage it? Where do you put it? Where do you go? And to be able to just know that he had the space was such a blessing for you guys to be able to go, let's do it. We got the space. We'll just store it up and away we go. So like, really, really cool.
We'd do swap meets every weekend. We'd go together and we kept saying in the car rides, we're like, I know we're going to do a deal at some stage. We're going to do something. And then obviously we didn't expect this. And then we've pretty much turned the whole back warehouse into a full setup for me. And it's just growing, because we're from that one initial, $1,000, let's just say $2,000 outlay. We pay ourselves every single week, and we've bought, I think, like 3 or 4 collections more onto that as well. So, it's been a pretty wicked journey, and it's only been since September. So what's that, like 6 months?
Yeah.
So,
I guess the big thing for me is like you're doing online at the moment. I watch a lot of Curiosity Inc. in Canada, and he's got his own store as well as doing online. He's really interesting, but Is that something you guys are looking at doing, of having a shop front of some of these collections and going like that? Or like Sergeant Red's Toys in Minnesota, I think it is. They've just built a like vintage toy store over there. Just really cool ideas of having stuff like that where, yes, you can sell it online, but you also give people a place that they can come to. They know then that you're a buyer as well. Like they physically know that they can go, okay, I can take my collection down here, be it, coming down from the top side of Perth or from the bottom, Bunbury, coming up with a haul of stuff, knowing, hey, I can bring it here, show these guys. It's not going to be like I'm going down to the local, cashies and getting cents on the dollar for what it's worth. This is this is someone who actually recognizes. Is that something you guys have looked at, or?
Sure have. We've I think we're very fortunate that because Brent also owns the big toy fair in Perth, that we have a lot of connections. And we've already spoken about leasing space where we live, because we live about 25-minute drive from where the factory is. And we've spoken like probably our 5 to 10 year goal. And it's just crazy that we can already talk like that when we only started this 6 months ago, even though we both had like eBay businesses on the side, but he has a full-time job. This is just part-time, I guess, for us. Crazy to say. It's still part-time because I have a business that I've run for 7 years. He's got multiple businesses, and that's his factory that we work out of. And now we can start talking about, all right, where do you want to go in 5 years? And that is definitely part of the talks that we've been having. So
I love it.
Pretty cool.
And you've got is it right that you've got Brent's kids listing for you?
We did, and then they went back to school, and now their free time has gone back into gaming.
Bloody school holidays ending. Bloody school
pull them out
holidays
of school.
ending.
Yeah,
pull them out.
In all honesty, it was amazing when we had them. But because obviously every day I've been setting some high goals every day, and sometimes I share it, sometimes I hold it back, blah blah blah. But we've got some big goals, and we've actually just brought on someone to help us day to day. So then there's technically 3 of us at the moment working.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you're unlucky I don't live nearby, because I would have come and sorted all that shit for you for free.
Yeah.
He would have picked a couple of grails for himself as well, though. Just going, that's payment.
Yeah.
That's the only part of this job that I really love is sourcing and sorting. So when I get a big haul or something, sorting through it, I love doing that. Everything else in this job I hate, but I love those 2 things.
Oh yeah, that's like Brent. You're literally just like Brent, like where I was like, oh, let's because we've spoken about who we're getting in for certain roles and stuff, and we spoke to him. I having a chat with him the other day, and I said, oh, should we do this? To get like sorting happening in particular genres and stuff. He's like, no, that's part of the fun that I get to have from buying this massive haul. I get to have the fun of digging through and finding what grails that are still buried underneath that table, and I'm like. Yeah. All right, I'll leave it to you. But because sometimes I walk in and I've got the biggest, have not an anxiety moment, but I'm like, oh my God, like we've just done another swap meet run and bought another car full of stuff. Where am I going to put this? And, so we have I have my moments where I go, what am I doing? But I should be going through this before. But we're lucky we're quite well set up now that we can just keep buying.
Yeah. It's such a good story, and the fact that you're getting to document it all, I think, is one of the coolest things, because it's so easy to fall in the trap of like you just get so busy, but to be able to sit back in, I mean, even if in 5 years' time it's not there anymore, to be able to sit back and go, look at the awesome time that we had, look at what we got done, look at this crazy adventure we went on. Yeah, it's so cool.
The funniest thing actually is like both of us. The first things we said, right, when we saw the TV thing last night, because they did one on the TV and they did one on like their media pages, and we both said this morning when we got in the car, it's like, geez, we've lost a bit of weight. Because they filmed that back in December, or was it late November, early December, and then they were going to air it over the Christmas New Year period, but because of COVID happening and getting a little bit, I guess, more intense with the borders opening and all that. They just wanted to wait for a time where everything had, I guess, eased off a bit. And then we got the message to say, yeah, we're going to do it tomorrow night, and then got all Wayne passes. And we're like, oh, my God, like, just what a crazy week it's been for everybody. Floods, warning, just and marsh, and, oh. So, yeah, we both got in the car this morning. Like, what a crazy day. And, wow, we've both lost a little bit of weight since that.
Maybe I should have come and helped you. I'll tell you what, I reckon I lost a few kilos today. Sweating me bloody ass off, sorting shit out. I was moving this shelf behind me was in the shed. In the shed, I had videotapes everywhere out there. I had to move them all just so I could get this shelf in here. And it was raining all day, but geez, it was muggy down here. Was it muggy around your area, Chris?
Yeah, it's been last couple of days, right? It's just been, even though it's dropped in temperature, it's still been quite sticky and just
So yeah, it was fun. I'll catch up on the chat a bit. I saw part-time from Newcastle Salesman going great for months. Except this week has been terrible. It's a roller coaster. Just get used to it. I'll tell you what, the last 10 days I have been going hard on the listings. Like really, I think there was one day where I did like 5, but apart from that, I've been doing over 30 every day. Yesterday I did 70. Today I did 50. And my sales haven't improved at all. But 2 hours before this show, my phone was just going nuts. Like I had so many sales in that 2 hours. So it's like the algorithms kicked in maybe. So it's a bit of a roller coaster. That's impressive, Jazz. That is impressive. I would definitely give a chicken parma eating competition a red hot crack.
There was a really good pub in Adelaide that used to do like a killer, massive big chicken parma night, and I went there one time when I was down there for work, and I'm talking like this was like over the plate size thing with chips and everything, and it was like $35, and it was amazing.
Nice.
I actually can't eat a lot in one sitting. I can eat a decent amount, but I can't eat a lot in one sitting. It's just that I eat everything that I do eat. It's terrible for me. So, Lozzie, has anyone seen my bag of chips? I've misplaced them.
They're with his marbles.
Right behind me. You know, this is a stupid story that I'm about to tell. Completely irrelevant, but it's kind of funny. Years and years ago, I had a party at my house, and my shed key would sit on the ledge right near my back door, and the oven was right there as well. And the next day, I couldn't find my shed key anywhere. And I'm like, bloody hell, someone's knocked it behind the oven. So eventually I pulled the oven out, couldn't find it. I'm messaging all my mates, have you got my shed key? Like, I could not find it anywhere. Started to look like I pulled the kitchen apart, everything. And I just got so frustrated, and I was lying on the couch, and I looked up on Google. I can't find my shed key. And the first comment was, check down between the couch. And it was down there. It had just fallen out of my pocket. So dumb.
Good thing you didn't vacuum it up or something.
Yeah. Tasmanian bearded pop hunter.
Hey.
We went through that one, didn't we?
Yep.
Sinister, how you going?
Howdy.
Toby.
Yep.
Toby, my man.
How you feeling, Toby? I think he had a decent night last night for his birthday.
Big party.
Pisces twin.
Just he was trying to respond to messages on eBay, and we gave him the advice to stop using the internet for the rest of the night. Sorry for just blurting that out, Tobes.
It's all right.
I sold a VHS tape just before we went live.
Oh,
Marked for Death. I sold the old Steven Seagal movie. If anyone has Garwood Prisoner of War on VHS, I'll buy it. Never heard of it.
No.
I never heard of it, but Cara loves him. I don't think that's what she was referring to.
No.
I saw the James Bond VHS video to a guy in Hungary last week. I would come over. I would do that. I wish I had AEST. Yeah, this was cool too.
Yeah. Chris, I got a good one there.
Yeah, it's I've actually hit 10K of revenue from that now, which is just and I've still got stuff I haven't listed from it because they're really, really big items, and I had to put them away in the back of my room, my sorting room, and because since then I've got more stuff, I can't get to it because without moving all the other stuff. So it's going to be good because when I do get to them, they're going to be a nice little reward of, you know, a little bit more of a kickback. Like it's like the Titanfall Xbox One Legendary Collection, and it's like almost probably just shy of a meter wide and then probably 60 centimeters wide. So it's just massive. And I got a full Rock Band complete inbox, not brand new sealed, but it's still got the plastic around like the guitar and stuff. It's just crazy.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. And you paid like 1,800 or something for that?
Yeah, around there. Yeah, that's sweet. He did. He sent me a picture and he said, "Do you want these?" I said, "Get fucked. I've just been sorting the shit out that I've got in the shed."
I was going to say, maybe Judd has got a little gift for you, but it sounds like you don't want it.
I've got too many. I don't want to sit here and say I've got too many when I've got JT next to me. It's nothing compared to her lot.
It's crazy. People like I've gotten a lot of negative feedback off yesterday, and it's just people are just like, just the amount of bullshit that people are like spitting out of what we've said or what they wrote in the article about VHSs, and I'm like, yeah, not everything's gonna sell, guys. Like, not everything does, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of the shit in the. I saw some of the shit you copped in the VHS group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Those guys are just a lot of those guys in that. Not a lot of them. A lot of those guys in that group are good guys, but. It's the same as any group. There's always going to be some dickheads in there. They're just jealous.
You got to have thick skin in the YouTube / social media game.
Do.
Yeah, I was going to comment on it, but I was like, it's just not worth the time, to be honest. Yeah,
they're all just cranky. They didn't get it. That's the main thing. It's all just jealousy.
That's
all it is.
It is. And a lot of those guys are just. They got insecurities and shit. They just try and put their shit on other people. So it's just easy to ignore them. And the fact that like one guy said one thing and he had like two people respond to him out of the whole group. So it sort of shows. Really? Sort of shows that they're in the minority. So I could smash a schnitty.
I don't. We might have that.
We might have to have a comp one night, Cara, on the live stream. We'll both get a.
Well, maybe when we have like a big reseller meetup, it'll literally be a meetup. We'll crack out some big schnitties and we'll all smash them.
I don't know if you guys know, but my eBay username is Got the Meat Sweats.
I have had the meat sweats many a time. Many a time.
So I've had people say to me before, like I'll be halfway through my meal, I'm like, bloody hell, I'm full.
Yeah.
People say to me, why don't you save the rest of it? Like, save it? Why would I do that? I can eat it all now.
Yeah, the last time I had the meat sweats was we got a pub here locally and they do a meter long sub essentially. Half of it is like a chicken schnitzel parmigiana sort of thing, and the other half is a chicken cheesesteak, Philly cheesesteak. And if you can eat it all in half an hour, it's no cost, or an hour or something like that. I went hard at it. I got through about half of it. The bread just hits you, the meat hits you, and about 4 o'clock in the morning, it all hits you, and it's just atrocious. It's just, I just woke up. I said to my wife, I'm like, I'm going for a shower. This is horrid.
Yeah, I've never done one of those. I can't, like I said before, I can't actually eat a lot in one sitting. So I was like, I always stay away from those. They'd probably shit themselves if I walked up and ordered it, but I wouldn't. There's no way I'd be able to do it. So
I've seen heaps in Texas, and that was heaps of fun to watch. But then I didn't want to watch the end because I didn't want to see the result.
Yeah. What's the most preferred way for you guys to list via phone? I hate listing on the phone.
Yeah.
Phone 24/7 for me.
Hate it.
Yeah.
I'm computer all the way.
Oh, really?
I'm computer.
I'm the only phone one.
So I started with the phone, and it was doing fine. But because where I was doing the listing, really bad reception. So I was finding it was actually taking me probably, not that it's really long, but taking me 3 minutes to do it. When if I did it on the computer with the photos, it's probably taking me about, a minute. So yeah. And that workflow just works better. And when you're doing, 15 per day or more, you're literally halving your time. So that was the big killer for me.
Yeah, well, I only use templates, so you can't even access your templates on the phone. So
exactly.
I really don't have a choice.
Same as me. And then camera work. I don't use my phone as my camera. I actually have an DSLR camera I use. So I can then. So what I do, I put it on my computer. At the end of each month, I back everything up onto an external hard drive, so that if I need to go back and grab anything, if something comes back, whatever, like that goes for videos, photos, everything. I just prefer it that way. It's easier. Cool. And that way, when I'm listening, I can just sit here. My second screen's just playing something. I'm just listing away. I've got stuff. I just pump through it. Whereas when you're on your phone, it's like, all power to people who do it on the phone. Good on them. But yeah, I'm a computer man.
Yeah, well, I know Judder. I don't know if he's mentioned in the comments. I know Judder only lists on the phone. And he does a lot of listings. So just whatever you're comfortable with, pretty much. So,
can I just say, Jazz's comment, going back to food, I want to find that mac and cheese pizza so I can be in Struggle Town too. Mac and cheese is one of my favorite things. It's one of my specialties. I cook a killer mac and cheese, and I don't know where that pizza is, but damn, I want it. We have a pizza place in town that does a potato bake pizza, and it's literally like eating your grandma's garlic potato bake on a pizza, and it's freaking amazing. And I want that mac and cheese pizza wherever it is. When I come to Adelaide, let me know.
I said I can't eat a lot in one sitting, but pasta and pizza I can just keep eating. So I actually don't usually eat pasta or pizza because of that reason. It tends to make me sick anyway, but I can eat just way too much of it, and it just ruins me. So that mac and cheese pizza, would probably kill me. So, where was I? I lost myself. Does anyone source at local markets? No, you're right.
Like swap meets and flea market?
I used to, but most of our markets are full of, other resellers, obviously, that are, half the time it's all Chinese crappy import stuff or, little cuts of plants and stuff like that. So I've just not found any value in it recently. Great if you're away on a holidays and you want to just walk around the local market and find something fun, but not really sourcing for where I am, at least. We don't have like the kind of markets that you see on like the Aussie Thrifters channel or something like that. We only have the shitty like 50 cars that are the same ones that go to every single market every week.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, we have a Sunday market here, and it's the same shitty 10 stalls every week, and they're all the same people you saw the day before at the garage sales that run them. Yeah. So it's just I'll go there once every few months, but you can't go there every week. It's the same shit there every day, every time. So, but JT, you go to a lot of
I'm pretty lucky. Like I'm pretty central. Like if you guys don't know, I'm in Perth, so I'm pretty central to a lot of swap meets here. So I pretty much every Sunday we get to around about 4 or 5 swap meets. So we've got a lot of choice, which is great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Chris Furlong. I saw about 6 months ago, 1970s reviews of the World of Unknown Monsters. I sold it within 3 days for $80.
Funny story on this, because I actually saw that, and you got $80 for it, so that's really good. But I was so tempted to actually offer you lower, buy it and sell it, because I think I got 150 for mine, or 160. But you know, that's still good. I mean, so if you ever find that book, sit on it, put it high. It's very popular in Spain because it's from Spain as well, like it was made. So I listed it when I did, and I had someone lowball me down to 120 from 175 for Spain. Which if I had my discounts I would have got now, I would have done it, because I would have got, like, you know, probably $15 back or $10 back. But still, it's a bolo item.
Yeah.
Well,
I sold a book recently that was a Monaro, like a Holden Monaro book that was going through the history of Monaro with a forward by Brocky and that sort of stuff, and it sold for $150 in like that. Just some of those ones that are, you know, out of print, limited edition, something like that, you know, very specific target market. They're great to find.
All right, I'm way behind again already. Which is a lot of sad people want to drag people down. Yeah, haters mean you're winning. I totally agree. Fuck them, JT. We love you. Couldn't be more true.
Haters gonna hate.
This is interesting. Might be able to do a reseller meetup soon. Sweet.
Well, all the borders are open again. Yeah.
Yep. Marky borders
are open. We'll meet in the middle at like Sydney. That'd be great. In the middle.
All right. I'm actually, I don't think I've really told anyone this yet, but because it's not even set in stone, but I'm coming up to, I'm planning on coming up to Canberra later in the year. Like, I don't know when. It'll be like, I'll try to do it when it's sort of off-peak, like caravan parks and shit. And I'll just take a tent and go for a couple of weeks, just put my store on away mode, go for a couple of weeks, probably make some videos and hit up some op shops and shit along the way. I know you're sort of close to Canberra, Bohdan. And
it's a day trip down to here, mate. Easy done. And I've got 4 acres, so bring the tent down here, mate. Bring the tent down here. I've got 4 acres. You can be out the back by yourself. There's no costs. I mean, no power, no toilet, but you can dig a hole.
And the octopus obviously is up there as well, and Mel as well. So I'll talk to Mel a fair bit. Actually, no one knows this either, but Mel is going to be on the show next week. So next Sunday, Mel will be here, barring anything
very good
happening. Then only use your phone. Toby loves his robot.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to get a copy of it and get to play with it.
I think he ditched it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, I only use my phone at least because, and you're living out of a bus as well, so it's probably a lot easier to do things. Computer.
Quick tip with the phone and having it with you all the time is that's a good thing. Is like if I find an item and I was doing research and looked it up and found it and I'm buying it. Well, rather than just close it, you just mark it as seller similar or whatever, and then close it as a draft later, right? And then you've already basically got 80% done. And that's a good way, to get, if you're sourcing on the day to list, that's a good way to save time later, because we all agree that once you've gone thrifting and then you get home, you're like, crap, if you have to, do the listing, it's like jeepers. It's
well, the other thing I do is I'll list like draft 50, 60 things. So it doesn't matter where I am for the next week. Like I've got a bunch of stuff already drafted, so I can list them and go with live listings. That's the big thing. Like saying you can list anywhere on your phone, you can, and it's always good to have that. But I love the accessibility of the computer and how much more, as Wayno said, the templates are a godsend.
Yeah, I like the templates. I just I try to dumb my listings down as much as possible. There's a lot of dumb buyers out there, and so they'll only look at the picture and they'll read the title and that'll be it. So my description never changes; it's always the same. My postage and all that never changes. My templates, so if I'm doing DVDs, the region, all that's all already set. I only have to type out the title and the condition. Even the condition, I have three random lines, and I just copy and paste whichever one is relevant in. So it takes me no time to literally 20, 30 seconds for each one, however long it takes to type out the title, pretty much. And yeah, my photos, as soon as I take them, my photos are on my computer. So
yeah,
I just find it way easier with the templates, but I totally get why people would prefer the similar as well. Yeah, listing via phone is so much faster than PC. It's just, I think it's just what you've become comfortable with, really.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's also what you're selling as well. Like what you're selling. Like for me,
Yeah,
I do shirts and stuff, and to be able to put like the shirt sizes and all that sort of stuff, it would take me forever to be typing that out. Whereas I have a template that I just use. I copy everything from my spreadsheet that I use for all of my tracking. And so to have to like double handle between the computer where I enter everything in and then the phone where I enter everything in. Yeah. And I guess that's part of it is what is your process from start to finish? Everyone has a different process. So if your process allows it, mate, yeah, I reckon go for it. But as you say, Wayno, like your process works the way that it does. It's effective. It gets you sales. Like why bother changing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, even my title, like I said, I type out the title, like half of my title is a copy and paste. And quite often I only take one photo. If it's DVDs or games, I take one photo. Unless it's like a compilation or something, then I might take a photo of the back. So the photos are really quick, just a few seconds for each one. And then sometimes I will just, if I've got a heap of them to do, I'll just sit down and write out all the titles as quick as I can in Notepad. And then I paste the little bit I got copied at the end of each one. And I go on the couch and just upload all the photos pretty much. Copy and paste the title over and upload photos or watch a movie while I'm doing it. I've got a pretty good system worked out for me. So 5 days on the phone, get out for a coffee and solid list from there.
Nice.
See that again, like that sort of, and I'm not having a go at Loz there, but like that's where you'd have had to have taken the photos and have everything ready to go. So it's again that double handling still of like, yes, you can list from anywhere on your phone if you've got the photos, but it's still very similar to like I can take my laptop down to anywhere once I've taken the photos and they're on my computer and do it. So it's again what works for you and how it operates is always what matters. So if it works, fantastic.
With regards to clothing, if you have a great item but it has no sizing, what would you put in the header? I don't really know.
I can answer that, seeing as I do a shitload of clothes. Pretty much the best thing to do is you can find normal size comparisons online. And so if you measure the pit to pit and the top of the neck to the hem, you can normally get a judge of size, and you put that in there of measures too large or measures too medium, and then put those measurements into the actual like description. That's your best thing to do, Rod. It'll cover your ass.
Yeah,
and because even shirts that say that they're a large or a small, if they're older or whatever, they can have stretched, shrunk, whatever. Like I sold an extra large shirt to someone one time, and put the measurements in there. They obviously didn't read the measurements, so it wasn't an issue. And they were just like, "Oh, it was a much smaller than I thought it would be for an extra large." It's like, well, I gave you the measurements, so yeah.
Yeah, like t-shirt sizes are just ridiculous. Like I've got extra large t-shirts that fit me perfectly, and I've got 4XL t-shirts that are too tight. Like it's just. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Like this, I really don't know how the industry works, but I feel like there needs to be some kind of regulation over sizing or something, just to make it easier for everyone.
Just for the resellers.
Like phone chargers sounds like phone chargers as well. Bit of regulation over the same charger.
Not even for resellers, just for personal use. It's so I barely ever buy clothes for myself, but when I do, it's fucking annoying when they don't fit.
That's why I will never sell women's clothing. I will never touch women's clothing because of the amount of I did it for like a very small amount of time, and the amount of just women drive me nuts. Just in general. they're just so pedantic about the clothing, that it fits properly. Oh, it doesn't fall off the shoulder. I'm like, men's clothing is so much easier.
Yeah. I think too, a lot of men will just like me, for instance, it comes in the mail and it doesn't fit, and I just chuck it in the cupboard. Like I don't go and try and take it, send it back or whatever. I couldn't be fucked.
That's when I was doing eBay on my own, and I was like, nah, never touching women's clothing again. Men's all the way, like men's sporting shirts, like Guernseys, happily, because I guess I'm right into my sport, but nah. So I never touch women's clothing, and I won't.
My wife says that she gets anxiety going into op shops because there's just so much shit in there that for her she can't find stuff because there's just so much. Like I'm in awe of when I see, like Cara going through and she's picking out stuff all over the shop. Whereas my wife is just like, I don't go into op shops because it's too much.
Too much of a head spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Pete's saying a lot of stuff at markets ends up being faulty, and I totally see that happening because market sellers would not test the shit. They just get it in a lot and they just put it on their table and
overprice it, put it out there, and
church flea markets are great. We have a church here in Traralgon that has a garage sale once a month, and it is amazing. It is so good, and I've never paid the price that they've asked of me. I always give them usually about double. Yeah. She's like, oh, is 20 too much? Like I had a IKEA bag that the IKEA bag was actually there, so I just grabbed it to put all the shit in. I had 50 games, PS3 and PS2 games, like 50 of them in this IKEA bag, and then a whole heap of other shit on top of that. She goes, oh, is 20 too much? I'm like, it's definitely not too much. So they're really nice there, and they let me in early. Like they usually let most people in early, but I'm one of the only ones that rocks up early. The money is actually going to help people, so I'll give you 40. Like, and sometimes I'll have a whole bunch of stuff, and they're like $6. Like I'll give you 20. So when is Two Aussie Thrifters going on tour? I'm not sure. It's probably going to be a while because they just started building the vans. I don't know how long that.
I think Brad said in a later comment 2023, early 2023, just down from that one. So should be fun.
Yes, coming around this way, so looking forward to that for sure. I'm keen for meetup.
They should create a channel, Two Aussie Adventurers. That'd be a good one. Two Aussie Adventurers.
If people are watching and they don't know, they go and check out their van life channel. It's called Brad and Jazz, and they've also started a Facebook page, but I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, you should be able to find it through their Instagram. Go on, hit it.
Yeah.
What's this one? I live 500 back down Dornoppy Runners. My town has 5 op shops. They're great. And we'll stop for my eBay. Yeah, like I drive down to not Melbourne, but just outer suburbs of Melbourne, down Chris's area. I drive down there usually. I didn't go this week, but once a week, just because the stuff around here is like we got tons of op shops in Traralgon, and I only go to 2 of them usually because the rest are just crap. They're either overpriced or no one donates to them. So and there's one good one in Morn, which is 10 minutes away. So there's like 3 that I sort of go to regularly, and that's it. And then just drive down there once a week because there's so much down there. So steal all Chris's shit from him before he can get to it.
How's that working out for you?
It's all right. I don't end up listing half of it. Sold a first edition vinyl record. Faith No More on it. Oh, I would have loved that.
Yeah.
A massive Faith No More fan. PC listing.
Go, Cara. Good call.
It is in my time measurements. Yeah, I need to shout out Thrifter. Well, I might hit Frankie up because
but I mean,
I don't know.
That's similar to your templates though, so it's a very similar thing realistically. So
I do sell similars and modify listings accordingly. See, I think my biggest, not fear, but the reason I don't really like sell similars is I'm just gonna miss shit that's in there that, like, I don't like, or I'll forget to change the postage so that it's my correct postage or whatever. Like, I feel like I'll just miss heaps of stuff. So I just really don't like it. Hotkeys, yeah, I need to look into that.
Yeah, I use hotkeys.
Do you hang up your clothing in a wardrobe or fold it and store it in box? I can tell you, I do neither of those. I throw it all in a big pile next to me on the floor. And then when I do put it away, I put it in tubs like that, but I don't fold it up.
Folded, stored, and labelled with my finder.
The ones I have listed are folded. The ones I have listed are folded and in a tub. But I mean, if you could see next to me right now, you wouldn't believe it.
I'm the same way. Don't worry, I'm exactly the same right now.
Yeah. Block that user. I'm just going to skip forward a bit because.
Well, I'll just say, I mean, there was something I wanted to sort of ask the panel that we have tonight while you're bringing up some of the comments, because I mean, people are catching up as we're chatting with stuff. Like I had a return 2 weeks ago that I was a INAD. I know, Chris, you talked about an INAD you had a while ago. And it was for a pair of shoes. I got the sizing wrong, put it as a 9 women's, but it was a 9 wide men's, and accepted it back. And I thought, that's the right thing to do. It's a $50 pair of shoes. I don't want to lose $50. But in the end, I went from doing $1,500 a week over the last couple of months to doing around $500 a week. So, I guess the question is there, do the rest of you think it's worthwhile to actually go through the get it returned process, or is it just safer and cheaper and easier to just refund and forget about it? Because if it's taking a while to come back, that's a negative against you, and you get pulled up by eBay 100% for it.
Yeah, it depends how much it is.
It's a catch-22 in that sense. It's got to be, is it worth your time? Like $50 is probably where you'd be like umming and ahhing, but like if it's like a $20 DVD, it's not worth it, because as what you've just seen.
No.
If it's a $500 item, I think it's worth it because you can probably get the $500 back again. If you've paid, $50 for the item and you want to get the, you can go through it and get the stuff back, right, and resell it. Whereas, I've learnt on it twice now, and I know a lot of people have different opinions on it, but I think it really comes down to the value of the item and the value of your time.
Yeah,
most of the time I refund. I mean, I had a 64 game last year. It was an NTSC version, and he had a PAL console. He just didn't read the listing, and he sent it back. It was $120. He sent it back. I ended up reselling the game like 2 weeks later for $180. So I made more out of it than what it sold for in the first place. But most of them I will just refund. You have to pay for the postage back as well, so you take that into account as well. $50. I mean,
that's the thing. Like, while you're waiting for it to arrive, you're getting throttled normally by eBay as well.
Well, yeah, and you're gonna get your fees back once you refund him as well. So, I don't know, with an INAD, do you get your fees back if it's So you're gonna if it's gonna cost $10 shipping to get back to you, by just refunding him, you're not paying out that $10, and then you're getting your $7 back anyway. You're not that much further behind. 50 is a tough one though.
You're not, but like I say, like my sales dropped 60%, so I went from $1,500 a week to $500 a week, and that's where I kind of go, for even $500 a week, it's like, who gives a fuck? Like if it's a $500 item, I'm almost like, who cares? Just refund it, get rid of it, because the hit to your store and your bottom line is almost too much. What were you going to say, JT?
I was going to say we've got a pretty set process where we always refund them. We always pay for their postage back, and if it's their fault, what we'll do is we'll wait for the item to come back. We'll make sure that it was the way that it was sent. So we always say, send it back the way you received it to this address. We'll pay for your postage with it coming back. And yeah, so we pretty much refund everything. And I guess maybe because we have got quite a large store, we're lucky enough that we don't see a difference in decline of sales. I guess it might be different with the smaller stores, but yeah, I guess we don't notice it for our store as such. Saying that nicely.
Yeah, I had one last week for just item hadn't arrived. She was just impatient. Like it had been 3 weeks. There's heaps of stuff not arriving in 3 weeks, like the last 2
years. And with the weather the way it is and COVID and everything like that, it's just
yeah. And then she actually messaged me like a week after I'd sent it, and I'm like, look, like I even explained to them after I send it. I send an email to all my customers with a whole bunch of stuff in it, but I start with, there's still delays because of COVID and all this shit. And so a week later she messaged me and she's like, where is this? Blah blah blah. It was $8 DVD. And then 2 weeks after that she files a request saying it hasn't arrived. So I refunded and blocked her. She doesn't get the privilege of buying from Uncle Wayno again.
Yeah. We got a negative on a DVD that got dropped off to the next door neighbor. So the buyer left us the negative saying item was didn't arrive on time, was found at next door neighbor, and it's like that was our problem. So we got it removed.
eBay are getting good with removing. Yeah. This is an interesting one. Do you refund the postage if it's the guy with the 64 game that I sold? He agreed that it was his fault. He filed a wrong dispute. He filed item not as described. And eBay wouldn't change that. They said it wouldn't affect my account, and my sales dropped right off. But yeah, he agreed, like, I'll pay the postage back, and you don't have to refund me the original postage. And I'm like, yep, no worries. So he sent it back, and I partial refunded him. So I kept the original $9 or whatever, and I didn't get my fees back. And I didn't know you have to refund in full to get your fees back. And I was actually worse off. I would have been better off refunding his postage, and I would have got more fees back than what I saved.
Yeah.
Really stupid.
We always refund. That's just our policy, but yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think from now on I'd have a policy of I'd refund unless if it's like a crazy valuable item or they're nearby and I know it's going to get to me fairly quickly. This person was in Adelaide. It took them 4 days to post it and then a week to come back. So you take all that time and it hits you. But if they were somewhere like Sydney and it was expensive, I'd probably go, yep, cool, I'll take it. But otherwise, I'd just refund from now on. So just a warning for all those in the chat who may not have dealt with that sort of thing. Like, be wary of accepting INADs and going through the process. You've got to weigh up the cost of it and the impact of it on your store.
I guess for us, we don't have free returns on our store at all, but I think we've been lucky that the way we post might, give us a good stead because we've barely had any returns. And if we've had somebody make a complaint, they've messaged us. And then not only have we given them our spiel of return it to this address, blah, 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 we'll pay, blah, 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 they then don't realize that they have to put in a refund request until we've already received the item back, which is not that many, luckily. And then we're like, oh, can you please put down refund requests so that we can add extra postage onto your return? So we've been very lucky, I guess. Yeah. I guess we've put a lot of effort into our packing. So
I don't get many at all. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been on eBay for 20 years. Just you just get good at things after a while. So usually the ones I get are like that lady. It hasn't arrived after 3 weeks or whatever. It's just something dumb.
Those people. Yeah.
So it's just way easier just to refund them and block them, and then their username gets shared with other sellers and they get blocked on the other sellers' accounts. So not that they probably even realize that, but I had one guy left me feedback. He bought something off me, didn't pay. so I cancelled after 4 days or whatever. He kept sending me a bunch of messages. Like, he was just weird. So I blocked him. He left me a positive feedback that said seller blocked me.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I had one guy this last week that said he didn't get a DVD, so I refunded him the $10 and then blocked him, because I do that if they say they didn't get it when it's you get your mail. That's the way it is. And then 10 minutes later, put a positive up saying I didn't get my item, but they refunded me straight away. Great seller. I'm like, I kind of feel bad now having blocked them.
We get a lot of Well, I wouldn't say scammers, but we get a lot of people that go, we haven't received this, or received this in bad condition. So we'll give we've got a full email that we've already templated and put together, and we'll send that to them, and we never hear back from them. We never get it returned back, because they know they've done the dodgy and they've tried to dodgy us over. But I'm like, mate, we've got enough experience to know if it's legit, send it back. If it's not, well. Because we've done the email so well that it's kind of gone, oh shit, okay, I better not send it back then.
What advice, guys? I had a $400 DVD. It was in one of my videos last year. Picked up a massive haul for $800. There was a $400 DVD in there. I sold it. It went overseas, and it broke. The case got smashed and the disc came out and they got all scratched. I contacted Australia Post. The guy just had to take the DVD and the packaging into his postal company, whatever that was. I think he was in Spain or something. I can't remember. And Australia Post did like a 1-day investigation and then paid me $400. I just had to show them. I had to show them proof of my sale, and my postage. So they paid me back for my postage as well, which was $30-odd. It gave me $400, and then I cancelled the listing. I cancelled the order, and refunded the guy, and I got my fees back. So I got like $50 or $60 fees back or something. I actually made money out of it. They were really good. I found they were really good. Didn't have any problems at all.
And that's normally the case. Having worked in freight, like 100%, it's the buyer, the end user, that needs to really initiate it. They need to take the item or talk with their end thing, especially in Australia. They just go straight to their post offices. The octopus says they deal with it all there. If it's international, it's obviously slightly different, and there will be required, proof of purchase or proof of sales, etc. But 100%, just tell them, hey, you need to take it in. You need to show proof of the damage, etc. I don't have it here, so I can't do that.
Yeah. And this is great advice from Pete as well. I talk to Pete a lot, so I know he does this. And I've done it as well. You can just ring your customers. You can get their number and you can ring them. You can explain the situation to them. A lot of people will back right off. A lot of people will get scared when you ring them. Like they think they've done something wrong or whatever. And I've done it before. It works really well. Like, just give them a call. Case is open. I leave a message reply and let them know the sales and to close as soon as Pete just tells them straight out what it's going to do to his business. And a lot of them are just, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I won't do that.
Yeah. My thing was that I just didn't even pick up on it was going to do anything. I just kind of went, shoes, I want them back, get them back. And then I sat there for a week and a half going, why am I getting no fucking sales? What's going on here? And then it triggered and I went, the INAD. I need to get onto this and fix it up. So it was like next morning they actually arrived in at the post office and I fixed it and it was done. But
I definitely believe if you put I find if you put the best possible packing together and make sure it's going to get there perfect, like there can be no issues that go wrong to the item, and it's the right item, then you won't get as many complaints.
And that's it. Like, this was the first time I've gotten something wrong, and it was my fault in this one. So that's the reality of it. So
yeah. I mean, if it's my fault, I'll just refund them in full. Straight away, and sometimes I will even offer them a discount if they want to buy something else or whatever, if I can help out, I just think it's the right thing to do. But like, there are, I mean, some buyers that will, you might make a little stuff up, but it really doesn't mean anything. Those guys shit me. Like, you know, I'm not going to offer them anything. But yeah, if it's a legit, like I've had a few times where I've just sent the wrong DVD to someone. And I'm like, you know, just, it's fine, just keep it. I'll send you the right one, you know. And most people are like, I can send it back. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Like, it's $10 DVD or whatever. Been a couple of times where I've sent the wrong DVD and realized before it's even arrived. And I just shot them a message and I'm like, look, I know I've sent you the wrong DVD. I'm going to send you the right one today. It's only going to take a couple days extra. So it should be all good. And I'm like, when you get the first one, can you just write return to sender on it, chuck it back in the box? And they do. Most people are pretty good about it. So there's always going to be some dodgy unit there. 100% is.
The ones that they think they can get you, but you can't.
Yeah.
People say not as described rather than fit, which is annoying as fuck. Yeah, that's what happened with my 64 game. Like, he put it down as not as described. It was clearly described correctly. So it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yep. I think we're well over an hour. So
because we're having too much fun. Too much fun.
Yeah. I think we might wrap up. I do need a piss again. I might have to bring a little, hospital thing
next year.
in here. So yeah, I'll just bring a bucket in next week because I'm getting too old. I need a piss.
Just make sure you mute when you do it, mate.
Yeah,
just a 3-litre milk bottle under the table, all done.
We'll be sitting here and hear this sound, and everyone's going to be like, "Can anyone else hear that?"
Yeah, it's raining. It's raining at Wayno's place, guys.
Yeah.
He's that leak in his roof.
All right. Well, we might wrap it up. We've got 46 people in the chat. Thanks everyone for coming along, and thank you guys for joining us, JT especially. So awesome to finally be able to chat to you face to face. We've spoken a bit just through comments and messages and stuff like that. So. It was awesome to finally catch up, and a big thanks to JT. JT actually organised the reseller Secret Santa last year, which was a great little initiative to have sort of a little bit more connection between all of us in Australia who do reselling, and hopefully we can do it again this year because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, lots of fun. So
it can be a lonely gig. Like, I'm lucky I've got Brent by my side, but it can be a lonely gig for most that do it all on their own, and their partners have their own jobs that don't really want to get in on what you're doing. So why not? We're all kind of colleagues together, aren't we?
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll wrap it up then. We'll see everyone next week. We'll have Mel on next week. So Mel and the Disgruntled Octopus might even be joining us as well. So, and we will have another spot. I haven't organised that yet, so I don't know who's going to be filling the other spot. We'll figure that out. So yeah, thanks everyone. We'll see you all next week.
Catch you guys.
Right.